Mr. Chaffetz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director, thank you for being here and your good work. I do appreciate it, the work you've done in the past. But what I have a problem with is this budget. It was suggested earlier that budgets reflect the priorities and values of those that present them. And I think in this case it's true. I think it's very true that this is a case that's being made by the administration. They want big government, more government. The bottom line is this doubles the debt in 10 years, and it is fiscally irresponsible. You know, the decisions we make in Congress are all about, what kind of money are we going to pull out of people's pockets and give to somebody else? And I find it reprehensible that we continue to talk about investments and other things when we're pulling money from people's pockets to try to give it to somebody else. The most important thing we can do is allow money to stay in their own pockets. It's the American people's money. It's not Congress's money. It's not the White House's money. I want to get very specific on some of the things you said. This budget is a down payment was one of the things I heard a quote from you, I believe, yesterday. This is a down payment on mortgaging our future, and it exacerbates the problem, doesn't actually solve it. I want to talk about part of your testimony on page 6. It says, quote, to stay on a path towards sustainable deficits. Sustainable deficits seems like an oxymoron to me. You know, we're on a trajectory where we can't afford anything. We're paying $600 million a day just in interest. I would appreciate at a future date to please try to define for us sustainable deficits, because I think to the average American, to me, it does not make sense. We have no sustainable deficits. To further go on with that quote, you say, on the order of 3% of GDP. We make tough choices across all areas of the budget to identify more than $1 trillion in savings, 2/3 from spending reductions. Where does that other third come from? As I understand it, it's from tax increases, is it not?
I'm happy to answer all the questions you just asked.
Just this last one, please. I know our time is short.
The net savings come from a number of provisions, but a lot of it comes from the provision that would pay for the alternative minimum tax, which would reduce the value of tax deductions for families at $250 and above. And
a significant portion does come from tax increases, correct?
Well, a third.
A third is coming from tax increase. You have a statement in here about federal civilian employee pay freeze. I find this to be terribly disingenuous. The reality is when Barack Obama took office to now, we have 145,000 additional federal workers. To suggest that pay is being frozen is not an accurate statement. Through step increases, through bonuses, through others, we have dramatically increased the federal payroll. The budget that is being proposed, when you say pay freeze, does that mean that expenditures on payroll will go up or stay the same?
It means that people are not going to get a cost of living adjustment, a raise from the pay that they get right now.
Well, so the line item for going forward, will our total expenditure from the U.S. government, will that go up or will that be the same?
Well, if we have more people, we will obviously have to pay the people who we're hiring. But for an individual federal worker, they're going to see their pay frozen.
I guess what I'm worried about for the American taxpayer is their expense for federal employees is going to go up, correct?
Well, I think if we want people to work at the airports and check to see the bombs running on planes, we have to pay them.
TSA agents.
But we have new technology, and the new technology requires people to use it.
You have 65,000 TSA agents.
Congressman, I'm happy to go into detailed answers.
How many more TSA agents do you need?
I think as we put new technology at the airports, we needed to hire people to work that equipment. I can get you an exact number.
You have 65,000. I need to know how many more people is it going to take?
I know that it's not worth buying equipment that we don't have people to operate.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
And I'd love to answer your other questions if I have time. I don't know if I have time.
If you could get to the gentleman in writing, only because we want to, watch your time and,
sure.
and the rest of the members' time.
Okay.